When working with Excel, we will undoubtedly make mistakes. Luckily, there is a feature called Undo. You'll find this button third from the left in the Quick Access toolbar. This is followed by a word or phrase representing your last action. We can set up an example where we deliberately make a mistake. We can sometimes rectify the mistake easily by retyping an entry, but sometimes there are bigger mistakes. The Undo feature has the ability to undo the last action as well as previous actions. It can actually go back at least 100 steps. But you shouldn't really come to rely on this feature. Say you want to remove most of these cells. So I click row 3 and I may see a button called Delete on the Home tab, and there's an option that says Delete Cells. So I click the arrow and choose Cells, but it seems to have deleted a lot more data than I wanted. I don't want to have to retype the things. I want to undo this. So I press the Undo button. When you point to it, it shows you there's a keystroke shortcut, Ctrl-Z, for undo, which could even be a faster way to do it. This time I'll use the arrow to undo what I just did. So I'll use some features that you may not have seen as yet. I'll use some colour here. I'll highlight these cells by clicking and dragging across, and I want to make them yellow. Then I'll highlight these cells red. But then maybe I change my mind and decide I don't want them like this. I could undo both. Undo has a drop arrow to the right and it shows you up to 100 of your last actions. There may be some other things I did recently which I want to undo. You can slide across as many of these as you need and undo a number of them together. So I could undo all 9 of these actions, or 12 of them, or even 19 of these ones. You can't select particular actions to undo without undoing the other actions taken since. So if we want to undo the last 2 actions, we'll slide across these 2 and click and undo the last 2 actions. When you undo actions, those actions are stored in a different category called Redo. The keystroke shortcut for Redo is Ctrl-R. Maybe I undid more than I wanted to, so I would click the drop arrow here and redo the last one. So the last action I took, the red cells here are no longer there, but the yellow cells are. So now if you just keep note of the basic concept that any action you take which you want to undo, try to undo it as soon as you catch the mistake. Don't think that you've just made a few mistakes and you can go back and undo them later, because there will be occasions where you can't rely on undo. But it is very useful to have, especially when you're working with chart or more sophisticated data.